What's up guys, this is Danny from Rethink Peer-to-Peer Lending. Welcome back to yet another portfolio update on my channel. In today's video, we will review the performance of my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio in May, as well as discuss some adjustments that I have made last month. We will also discuss a few updates from the industry, including the newly introduced fees at Estateguru, the first defaulted project on Crowdpear, and the advanced auto-invest settings at Lande. Some of you might have noticed that I am currently traveling across the Baltics to meet up with a number of peer-to-peer platforms and to discuss a few topics. If you want to stay informed about the latest news from my trip, feel free to join my German Telegram group or check out the live ticker on my blog. Both links can be found in the video description below. As you can see, there are already a few interviews online, which I would encourage you to watch if you want to get a better idea about how the platform's executives tackle the current challenges. After my stint in the Baltics, I will also pick up on a few conversations and try to establish more context to what has been said. If you would like to see this kind of content, then please consider subscribing to my channel. For now, let's take a look at my current peer-to-peer portfolio, where I was able to generate 729 euros from my outstanding loans in May. A new record in terms of my personal income from individual peer-to-peer platforms was set last month by PeerBerry with 304 euros. The best overall performance in my portfolio is delivered by Income Marketplace with 13.44%, followed by PeerBerry with 12.23% and ViaInvest with 11.14%. On the other side, the worst performance is coming from Estateguru with only 6.36%. In May, I had a total of only 2 transactions in my peer-to-peer portfolio, with each 1,000 euro being deposited on Income Marketplace and HeavyFinance. The value of my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio increased to 97,238 euros in May, which means the mark of 100,000 euro is now within reach. Nevertheless, I am pretty sure this milestone won't be hit in June, as there is a bigger withdrawal coming up for the next month. Next up, let's review a couple of updates from the industry and how they can be assessed. PeerBerry had a pretty solid month, with their assets under management growing by 3 million to now 113 million euros. At the same time, Gofingo Group repaid once again 200,000 euros of war-affected loans to its investors, which means almost 48 million euros have been recovered so far from the original claims. According to PeerBerry, all war-affected loans should be recovered by latest the end of 2024 if no unforeseen events are about to happen. On the Esketit side, the platform has recently onboarded a new lender with Capital, hoping to reduce the increasing Cashdrag as a consequence. For now, it remains questionable though if there will be plenty of demand for property-backed real estate loans with only 7% interest and a loan term of 3 years. For investors opting for this loan segment, I personally believe that platforms such as Crowdpear or Profitus offer a way better risk-return profile for this particular loan segment. Regardless of Capital, the Cashdrag issue remains an ongoing problem on the platform. As for my personal account, uninvested funds have recently accumulated to more than 9,000 euros, while the auto-invest only picked up 1 loan in the past 2 weeks. Since this Cashdrag issue on Esketit has been bothering me for quite some time already, I have now decided to withdraw a bigger amount of funds in June while transferring a couple of those funds to other platforms. A way better supply situation can be found at Income Marketplace at the moment, with new assets coming in from the likes of Danarupia, ITF, Hovi and Current Auto. As many investors seem to recognize the positive development, finding their way back to Income Marketplace, investors' assets under management have now increased significantly for the 3rd month in a row. By the end of May, assets under management have been close to 30 million euro, which is now a new record in the history of the company. Personally, also I took advantage of the positive momentum on income and deposited another 1,000 euro in May. With a total return of 13.44% after being an active investor for the past 2 years, income is also showcasing the best performance in my portfolio. A closer look should be taken at Crowdpear these days, which is now dealing with the first defaulted loan in the platform's history 1.5 years after starting its operations. The affected project is Avitino 14, which was financed in 5 stages from May 2023 to January 2024 and raised almost 354,000 euros from investors. In discussions with the platform, I was already informed about the exact background story of this default. However, those information can't be disclosed publicly at this point in time. What can be said, however, is that according to an independent valuation report from December 2023, the properties pledged to the platform have a value of around 485,000 euro, which corresponds to an LTV of 73%. So in theory, chances are pretty good for investors to not suffer any losses. I am pretty confident that Crowdpear will find a good solution in the best interest of its investors, while I am also personally involved with 300 euro on my own. Good improvements happened on Lande last month with some useful additions that have been made to the advanced auto-invest strategy. In addition to the interest rate, term and LTV, which could already be selected previously, the type of collateral, the repayment schedule and the selection of borrower countries have now been added as well. Also, the minimum investment amount for the extended AI strategy has now been reduced from 250 euros to 100 euros per loan. It seems like Lande has been listening to the feedback from its community, which is clearly a good sign, and the same applies as well to the now monthly appearing performance report. On HeavyFinance, only 2 agricultural loans from my outstanding portfolio are currently more than 90 days late, which is why I decided to top up my account with another 1,000 euro specifically for my preferred Lithuanian loans. In terms of green loans, I continue to wait and see how the carbon credits will be issued in the future. On this end, HeavyFinance communicated slight progress in May with a team of auditors performing an on-site visit to check on the methodologies of the carbon farming program. But according to the recent forecast, the issuance of carbon credits might well take up until the end of Q4 this year. Next up, we have to discuss how property-backed real estate platforms seemingly charge more and more fees to its investor base. It started off with an announcement from Profitus, which will now charge a fee of €1.88 from May 27 onwards if investors make 2 withdrawals per month from the platform, while a single withdrawal request per calendar month is still free of charge. On the other hand, Estateguru has chosen a much more aggressive approach in tightening the price screw, possibly scaring away now also the last loyal investor base. After introducing the asset management fee in October, which now takes away up to 0.6% per year from investors, the fees for withdrawals and inactive accounts have now been adjusted as well. From June 1st, investors will now be charged €3 for each withdrawal request, while inactive accounts will be charged €10 if there haven't been any transactions made in the past 12 months. Unfortunately, this announcement was made only 4 days after my visit to the platform, which otherwise I would have liked to address directly. At the end of the day, it seems like Estateguru wants to monetize on investors who want to leave the platform anyway. If this was a smart way to do, and if the additional income was worth it, considering the reputational damage, and that this action will certainly scare away also the last 50-50 investors who wanted to wait for the performance of the recoveries before deciding how to proceed further, should certainly be questioned. On a personal note, I find this behavior pretty disrespectful, looking at the current state that Estateguru is in, with many investors unable to access their defaulted funds anyway, while the retail investor base has been the foundation of Estateguru's growth in the past years. Considering the amount of defaulted loans, which has now even increased to above 130 million euros, with barely any progress being made on the recovery side so far, showcases how bad the current state of the platform actually must be. If you want, listen into my recent conversation with the Estateguru CEO to find out more about the platform's approach to recover defaulted loans, particularly in Germany. I hope you guys enjoyed this small portfolio update where I also discussed a couple of updates from the industry. If you did, and if you want to continue seeing more content of me in the future, then please consider subscribing to this channel, and otherwise I'll see you in the next one. Take care guys. Bye bye.